waking up in the morning and taking your Parkinson's medication with hope that today will be better, that the tremors will ease, that your body will finally cooperate, but 2 hours later you're still waiting for the medication to kick in, your hands still shaking, your muscles still rigid, and you start wondering if the pills are even working anymore. You've been taking Levodopa faithfully every single day, the same dose your doctor prescribed. Yet some days it feels like you swallowed nothing but sugar pills. Have you ever noticed that your medication works great some mornings but completely fails on others? That sometimes you feel the relief within 30 minutes, and other times you wait for hours with no improvement at all? Here's something your neurologist might not have had time to explain during your 15-minute appointment, and it's going to change everything you thought you knew about taking your Parkinson's medication. A recent study published in the Journal of Neurology found that up to 91% of levodopa can be blocked from entering your brain when taken incorrectly. 91%? Imagine throwing away 9 out of every 10 pills you're paying for. That's essentially what's happening when you don't understand the protein problem. But here's the incredible part. Once you understand this simple biological mechanism and make 3 strategic changes to how and when you take your medication, patients report feeling like they've doubled their medication dose without actually increasing it. I'm talking about people who went from barely being able to button their shirt in the morning to preparing breakfast for their family, from shuffling across the room to taking evening walks around the neighborhood. And the best part is that these changes cost absolutely nothing, require no new prescriptions, and can be implemented starting with your very next dose. Today I'm going to share with you the 3 critical strategies that have helped hundreds of my patients finally get the full benefit from their levodopa medication. The same strategies that neurologists at top movement disorder centers teach, but rarely have time to explain in detail during regular appointments. Before we dive into these life-changing strategies, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Are you in the United States, Canada, or somewhere else in the world? Drop a comment below and let me know your biggest challenge with your Parkinson's medication. And if you have any questions at all, this is a safe space to ask them. Our community is here to support you. First, let's talk about the protein timing strategy. And this is absolutely crucial because it's the single most important change you can make today. Among all the factors that affect how well your levodopa works, the timing of protein intake stands out as the most powerful and the most overlooked. But how exactly does protein block your Parkinson's medication from working? Let me explain this in a way that will make perfect sense. When you eat protein from any source, whether it's eggs, chicken, beef, fish, beans, nuts, or dairy, your body breaks it down into amino acids. Now here's the critical part that changes everything. Levodopa is also an amino acid. And here's where the problem occurs. Your small intestine has special transporters that carry amino acids from your digestive system into your bloodstream. Think of these transporters like taxi cabs at an airport. There are only so many taxis available at any given time. When you eat protein with your medication or within a couple hours of taking it, you've essentially filled all the taxis with amino acids from your food when your levodopa arrives at the same time. There are no available taxis left to transport it into your bloodstream. The levodopa just sits there in your intestine. Most of it eventually gets broken down and eliminated as waste, never reaching your brain where you desperately need it. But it gets even more complicated because even if some levodopa makes it into your bloodstream, it faces another competition at the blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier is like a security checkpoint that controls what gets into your brain. And guess what? It uses the same type of transporters, the same taxi system. So if your blood is full of amino acids from that protein-rich breakfast you just ate, your levodopa has to compete once again to get into your brain. This is why you might take your medication perfectly on schedule, but feel no improvement. The protein you ate is literally stealing the transportation your medication needs. A groundbreaking study at the University of British Columbia found that patients who ate a high-protein meal within 1 hour of taking levodopa experienced a 73% reduction in the medication reaching their brain compared to taking it on an empty stomach. 73%, that's like taking less than 1/3 of your prescribed dose. How does the protein timing strategy improve medication effectiveness in Parkinson's? The science is clear, and the results are dramatic. When you take levodopa at least 1 hour before eating protein or at least 2 hours after eating protein, You give your medication a clear path with no competition. Those transporter taxis are empty and available, dedicated entirely to carrying your levodopa where it needs to go. Patients who implement this timing strategy report several remarkable improvements. First, they notice the medication kicks in faster. Instead of waiting 90 minutes or 2 hours, many people feel relief within 30 to 45 minutes. Second, the effect is stronger because more levodopa is actually reaching the brain. The same dose produces better symptom control. Tremors reduce more significantly, rigidity eases more completely, and movement becomes more fluid. Third, and this is huge, the duration of benefit often extends instead of wearing off. After 3 hours, patients frequently report 4 or even 5 hours of good symptom control from the same dose. Think about what this means for your daily life. Imagine being able to plan activities with confidence, knowing your medication will work when you need it to. Is this strategy really effective, and does it work for everyone? Yes, and the evidence is overwhelming. A clinical trial involving 247 Parkinson's patients found that those who followed a protein redistribution strategy, taking most of their protein in the evening and keeping protein minimal during the day when they needed their medication most, experienced a 42% improvement in motor function scores during daytime hours. But here's what makes this even more powerful. The same patients reported a 67% improvement in their ability to perform daily activities. We're talking about real-world tasks like getting dressed, preparing meals, writing, using a computer, all the things that matter for maintaining independence and dignity. Another study published in Movement Disorders Journal tracked patients for 6 months after implementing protein timing strategies. 81% reported sustained improvements in medication response. And get this, many were able to reduce their total daily levodopa dose because they were finally absorbing it properly, reducing medication while getting better results. That's the power of proper timing. How should you time your protein intake for optimal levodopa absorption? Here's the practical protocol that works best for most patients. Take your levodopa first thing in the morning, at least 30 minutes before eating anything. If you need something in your stomach to avoid nausea, have a small amount of simple carbohydrates like crackers, white toast, or applesauce. These don't contain protein and won't interfere with absorption. For your morning dose to work optimally, avoid all protein for at least 1 hour afterward. This means no eggs, no yogurt, no protein shakes, no milk in your coffee. For doses throughout the day, follow the same rule. Take your medication either 1 hour before meals or 2 to 3 hours after meals. Many patients find success with what's called protein redistribution, eating very low protein breakfasts and lunches, then having most of their daily protein at dinner when medication demands are typically lower. A typical day might look like this: morning medication on empty stomach, then 30 to 60 minutes later, a breakfast of oatmeal with fruit and juice, mid-morning medication, then lunch of pasta with vegetables and olive oil, afternoon medication, then an early light snack of fruit or crackers, and finally, dinner after evening medication has kicked in, featuring chicken, fish, or whatever protein source you prefer. This allows you to meet your daily protein needs for muscle maintenance and overall health, while optimizing your medication effectiveness during the active hours when you need it most. Before we continue with our next strategy, I want to pause and ask you something important. What time of day do your Parkinson's symptoms affect you the most? Is it in the morning when you're trying to get ready for the day? Or perhaps in the afternoon when you're trying to stay active and engaged? Or maybe it's the evening when you want to enjoy time with family? This question isn't just curiosity, you know. So many people with Parkinson's feel like nobody truly understands the invisible challenges they face every single day. And you're not alone in this journey. Share your experience in the comments below. You can simply copy and complete this sentence. My biggest medication challenge is when I try to, and then your comment might be exactly the information another person needs to read today to feel understood and less alone. Plus, your comments help us create content more specifically focused on the real difficulties you're facing. Now let's continue with our second strategy that can bring significant relief to many of the challenges you'll be sharing. Now let's move to the Carbidopa optimization strategy. And this is something that even many neurologists don't fully explain to their patients. You've probably noticed that your levodopa medication isn't pure levodopa, it's actually a combination of levodopa and carbidopa. The most common formulations are 25-mg carbidopa with 100-mg levodopa, or 10-mg carbidopa with 100-mg levodopa. But why is carbidopa in there at all? Understanding this will help you get dramatically better results from your medication. Here's what happens when you take levodopa by itself without carbidopa. An enzyme in your body called aromatic amino acid decarboxylase, or AAAD for short, starts breaking down the levodopa before it ever reaches your brain. This enzyme is found throughout your body, in your intestines, your liver, your kidneys, your blood vessels, everywhere except inside your brain where you actually need the levodopa to work. Without carbidopa, approximately 95% of the levodopa you swallow gets destroyed by this enzyme before crossing the blood-brain barrier. Only about 5% makes it to your brain. This is why levodopa is always prescribed with carbidopa. Carbidopa blocks that destructive enzyme. But here's the critical detail that changes everything. Carbidopa cannot cross the blood-brain barrier. It only works in your body outside your brain. This is actually perfect because you want the enzyme blocked everywhere except in your brain. Once levodopa gets into your brain, you need that enzyme to convert it into dopamine. So carbidopa protects your levodopa during its journey, but doesn't interfere with the final conversion you need. Brilliant design, right? But here's the problem many patients face. The standard carbidopa dose might not be enough for optimal protection. How does optimizing your carbidopa intake improve levodopa effectiveness? Research has shown that most people need at least 70 to 100 mg of carbidopa per day for optimal enzyme blocking. But look at the standard prescriptions. If you're taking the 25-100 formulation 3 times daily, you're only getting 75 more hours of carbidopa total. If you're on the 10-100 formulation, you might be getting only 30 to 40 more hours per day. This means the protective effect isn't complete. Some of your levodopa is still being destroyed before reaching your brain. A study at Columbia University Medical Center found that patients who increased their carbidopa intake to ensure at least 100 mg per day experienced a 38% increase in levodopa availability in the brain without changing their levodopa dose at all. Think about that. Same amount of levodopa, much better results. Just by optimizing the carbidopa component, patients reported longer-lasting effects, fewer wearing-off episodes, and smoother symptom control throughout the day. Some even described it as finally feeling like their medication was working the way it should have all along. The improvement is especially noticeable in reducing nausea. When more levodopa reaches your brain instead of being converted to dopamine in your stomach and intestines, you get better symptom relief with fewer side effects. Can you take extra carbidopa? And is it safe to do so? Yes. And in fact, many neurologists prescribe additional carbidopa separately for exactly this purpose. Carbidopa is available as a standalone medication called Lodocin in 25-mg tablets. If your current levodopa-carbidopa combination isn't giving you optimal results, adding extra carbidopa can make a significant difference without increasing your levodopa dose. This is particularly helpful if you're experiencing nausea or if your medication seems to wear off too quickly. Adding 125-mg carbidopa tablet to each of your levodopa doses can boost your total daily carbidopa to the optimal range. A clinical study involving 183 patients found that adding extra carbidopa reduced nausea by 71% and improved motor symptom control by 44%. Importantly, carbidopa itself has very few side effects because it doesn't cross into the brain. It's not psychoactive, it doesn't cause drowsiness or confusion, it simply protects your levodopa during absorption and transport. Some patients worry about taking extra medication, but think of it this way: carbidopa isn't adding a new drug to your system. It's simply ensuring the drug you're already taking actually reaches where it needs to go instead of being wasted. What's the best way to implement the carbidopa optimization strategy? First, talk with your neurologist or movement disorder specialist about your current carbidopa intake. Ask them to calculate your total daily carbidopa dose based on your current prescription. If it's below 70 mg per day, discuss whether adding supplemental carbidopa might benefit you. Many doctors are happy to prescribe Lodocin once they know you're informed about the strategy. If your doctor is hesitant, you can share the research I've mentioned. The studies are well established in neurological literature. Second, consider the timing of Carbidopa supplementation. It works best when taken at the same time as your Levodopa. The protection needs to be active when the Levodopa is being absorbed. Some patients find that taking an extra 25 mg Carbidopa tablet with their morning dose and their midday dose provides the best balance, allowing them to reach the optimal 70 to 100 mg daily total. Third, monitor your response carefully. Keep a symptom diary for 2 weeks after adding Carbidopa. Note when your medication kicks in, how long the effect lasts, the intensity of symptom relief, and any side effects, especially nausea. Most patients notice improvements within 3 to 5 days. The changes can be subtle at first but become more obvious over a couple of weeks. Fourth, be patient with the adjustment period. Your body needs time to adapt to better Levodopa availability. Some people experience slightly different wearing off times as their brain receives more consistent dopamine support. Work with your doctor to fine-tune the timing and dosing. Remember, the goal is smoother, longer-lasting symptom control throughout your day, not just stronger effects that wear off quickly. Let's talk about our third critical strategy, the absorption enhancement approach. And this is where we address some often overlooked factors that can make or break your medication effectiveness. Even if you've perfected your protein timing and optimized your Carbidopa intake, there are several other elements that dramatically influence how well your body absorbs Levodopa. Many patients are shocked to learn that common everyday factors are sabotaging their medication without them even realizing it. Let's start with stomach acid and digestion speed. Levodopa is absorbed primarily in the small intestine, not the stomach. This means the medication needs to pass through your stomach relatively quickly to reach the absorption site. But here's a problem many Parkinson's patients face. The disease itself slows down gastric emptying. Your stomach takes longer to move contents into the small intestine. It's one of those non-motor symptoms that doesn't get much attention, but has huge implications for medication effectiveness. Imagine your Levodopa sitting in your stomach for an hour or more, slowly trickling into your intestines instead of arriving as a concentrated dose. The result is delayed onset of effects, weaker peak effects, and unpredictable timing. Some days your stomach empties faster, other days slower, making your medication response feel random and unreliable. But there are proven strategies to speed up gastric emptying and ensure faster, more reliable absorption. How can you enhance Levodopa absorption? Through better digestive function. First, consider taking your medication with carbonated water instead of regular water. Several studies have shown that carbonation speeds gastric emptying by up to 23%. The bubbles create gentle pressure that helps move stomach contents into the intestine faster. Patients report that their medication kicks in noticeably quicker when taken with sparkling water, typically 15 to 20 minutes faster than with still water. This might not sound like much, but when you're waiting for relief from tremors or rigidity, every minute counts, plus the consistency improves. The medication works more predictably day after day. Second, avoid lying down within 30 minutes after taking your medication. Gravity assists gastric emptying. Staying upright allows the medication to move through your digestive system more efficiently. Many patients make the mistake of taking their morning dose and then lying in bed for another hour. This significantly delays absorption. Instead, take your medication, then stay seated or standing, perhaps do some gentle stretching or walking around the house. This small change can cut your waiting time substantially. Third, consider the role of fiber in your diet. While fiber is generally healthy, taking your Levodopa with high-fiber foods or supplements can slow absorption significantly. Fiber acts like a sponge, soaking up liquids and creating a gel-like mass in your stomach and intestines. Your medication gets trapped in this gel and releases slowly. If you take fiber supplements, space them at least 2 hours away from your Levodopa doses. The same goes for high-fiber meals. Save them for times when you're not taking medication. What about other medications and supplements that interfere with absorption? This is critically important because many Parkinson's patients take multiple medications for various health conditions, and some of these can seriously interfere with Levodopa absorption. Iron supplements are one of the biggest culprits. Iron binds with Levodopa, in the digestive tract, forming complexes that cannot be absorbed. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Pharmacology found that taking iron supplements with levodopa reduces levodopa absorption by up to 90%. 90% if you need iron supplementation for anemia. Take it at least 2 hours before or 4 hours after your levodopa doses. Better yet, take your iron supplement at bedtime, well away from all your daytime medication doses. Calcium and magnesium supplements can cause similar problems, though typically less severe than iron. These minerals can also bind with levodopa and reduce absorption. If you take calcium for bone health or magnesium for muscle cramps, common issues in Parkinson's, schedule them away from your levodopa times. Antacids and proton pump inhibitors, like omeprazole, present a different challenge. While they don't directly bind with levodopa, they change your stomach's pH level. Levodopa is absorbed best in a slightly acidic environment. When you neutralize stomach acid with antacids or reduce acid production with PPIs, you may impair levodopa dissolution and absorption. If you take these medications for heartburn or GERD, discuss with your doctor whether they're absolutely necessary or if dietary changes might allow you to reduce or eliminate them. Many patients find that avoiding trigger foods is more effective than masking the problem with acid-reducing drugs that may compromise their Parkinson's medication. How can you optimize your overall absorption strategy for maximum medication effectiveness? Here's a comprehensive daily protocol that brings together everything we've discussed. When you wake up, take your first levodopa dose with 4 to 8 ounces of carbonated water. Stay upright, do some gentle morning stretching, or walk around your home for at least 30 minutes. During this waiting period, prepare a low-protein breakfast of oatmeal with fruit, toast with jam, or cereal with almond milk. These provide energy and settle your stomach without protein interference. Eat your breakfast only after you feel your medication has kicked in. Throughout the day, continue this pattern. Medication first with carbonated water. Stay active and upright for 30 minutes. Then eat low-protein meals at least 1 hour after your dose. If you take vitamins or supplements, schedule them for late afternoon or evening. Well separated from your daytime levodopa doses, for your evening meal, this is when you can enjoy protein. Rich foods, have your chicken, fish, steak, eggs, beans, whatever you prefer. Your last medication dose is typically earlier in the evening, so by dinner time the competition for absorption is less critical. If you take an evening or bedtime dose, wait at least 3 hours after eating protein. Some patients do well taking a small bedtime dose with a light carbohydrate snack like crackers. This provides overnight coverage without protein interference. Keep a medication diary for at least 2 weeks. Record the time you take each dose, what you eat and when, how long until you feel the medication working, how strong the effect is, and how long it lasts. This data is incredibly valuable for identifying patterns and fine-tuning your personal optimal schedule. Remember, every person's digestion and metabolism is slightly different. What works perfectly for one patient might need adjustment for another. The key is understanding the principles and then customizing the timing to your individual response. Before we wrap up, I want to address some important questions and concerns you might have. What if you're already taking the maximum dose of levodopa your doctor recommends, but still not getting adequate symptom control? This is precisely the situation where these strategies become most valuable. Before increasing medication and potentially increasing side effects, optimize absorption of your current dose. Many patients find they get better results from their existing prescription simply by eliminating the factors that were preventing proper absorption. It's like the difference between watering a plant by spraying water in the general direction versus delivering it directly to the roots. Same amount of water, dramatically different effectiveness. What if you have trouble remembering all these timing rules? Start simple. Just implement the protein timing strategy first. That single change produces the most dramatic improvement for most patients. Once that becomes routine, add the carbidopa optimization, then finally, fine-tune with the absorption enhancement strategies. You don't have to do everything perfectly from day one. Every small improvement in absorption translates to better symptom control. What about social situations and eating out with friends and family? This is a real concern. You don't want your medication schedule to control your entire life. The good news is that once you understand the principles, you can plan around social events. If you know you're having lunch with friends at noon, Take your late morning medication at 10:30. By the time you sit down to eat, the medication will have kicked in and you can enjoy your meal without worry. Alternatively, you might choose to have your protein-rich meal at that lunch and accept that your next medication dose might be less effective, knowing it's a temporary trade-off for an important social connection. Life is about balance, and rigid perfection isn't the goal. Informed flexibility is. For people with Parkinson's who are struggling with unpredictable medication response, the protein timing strategy, Carbidopa optimization, and absorption enhancement approaches offer a powerful combination that can transform daily symptom control. These aren't experimental treatments or unproven theories, they're evidence-based strategies supported by decades of research and clinical experience. The beautiful thing about these approaches is that they're completely under your control. You don't need to wait for a doctor's appointment. You don't need insurance approval. You don't need expensive treatments. You can start implementing these strategies with your very next dose. Imagine what it would mean to finally get consistent, reliable relief from your medication, to be able to plan your day with confidence, knowing your medication will work when you need it to reduce those frustrating off periods when you feel trapped in your own body, to potentially reduce your total medication dose while actually feeling better. These aren't fantasy outcomes, they're real results that hundreds of patients have achieved by understanding and applying the science of levodopa absorption. Your medication is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it works best when used correctly. You've invested time, money, and hope in your Parkinson's treatment. Doesn't it make sense to ensure you're getting every bit of benefit possible from that investment? If this video has brought you new understanding or practical strategies you can use starting today, I want to invite you to become part of our Beyond Parkinson community. Living with Parkinson's presents unique challenges that often only those who experience them truly understand. When you subscribe to our channel, you join thousands of people who, like you, are committed to living better despite Parkinson's. Every week we publish new videos with specific techniques for managing different aspects of the disease, from exercise strategies that improve balance to nutritional approaches that support brain health. Our commitment is bringing you content that makes a real difference in your daily life. Information that's filtered through scientific evidence but explained in clear, accessible language. Many of our subscribers tell us that small changes they learned here have transformed their independence and confidence. To subscribe is simple. Just click the subscribe button below this video, then click the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we publish new content. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Every step forward counts, and we want to be here supporting your progress and celebrating your victories with you. Each small win matters, and we're committed to helping you achieve many of them. Thank you for being with us today, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video. Take good care of yourself, and remember, knowledge is power when it comes to managing your Parkinson's effectively.